It is April 10th. Welcome to the Penny Pinchers podcast. You are here with Dagger and the Jimmy J. We got a 9-game slate today, and we're going to take you through all the hot big plays, who we think is great, who we think is not, and we're going to help you out the bank today. Dagger, how you doing today in Massachusetts? Heard of some crappy weather.
Yeah, it's a little cloudy today, but I'm ready to jump into some DFS because there's never a cloudy day in DFS.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta just think positive, Jimmy.
You're
That's
right.
what it's all about. Gotta be positive at all times.
Well, 120 pounds soaking wet. Jared Dyson hit a walk-off that cost me Mike Miners 4 points.
Yeah, you take the swings with the punches. Sometimes you get Pete Alonso homers in the ninth, and other times Jared Dyson hits walk-offs.
Well, on that note, I'm ready to dive right on in today.
I can't wait. This is going to be a very, very active slate, and ready to attack.
Yes, okay. I'm jumping right on in with our pitchers. I do not like a lot of low-end options today. If you want to take a shot on them, you're more than free. But I'm going to start right off the rip with at the very top. I'm all about Noah Syndergaard tonight at 10,400 against Minnesota. DeGrom, I'm kind of cursed. Pick DeGrom. Apparently, Dagger thinks I'm cursed, and I took DeGrom, and he absolutely sucked.
You broke his quality start streak,
I
Jimmy.
broke a quality start streak because I never ever pay up and pick DeGrom.
You ruined it. It cost him a chance at history.
So after Syndergaard, we're just gonna move on now. I mean, it's on me. I should have picked anyone else. I like Robbie Ray for 9,400 in Arizona against Texas. Robbie Ray's pitching well. A lot of lefties in that lineup, a lot of big bats. So I'm thinking maybe the lefty will help him out. Colin McHugh's another name I really like against the Yankees. It's always a risk against the Yankees. It's so easy for them to hit bombs. But McHugh's a very solid player. Woodruff, I'm not crazy about Woodruff, but against the Angels with no Mike Trout, that's always something good for 8,300. But a guy I'm definitely trying to target is Frankie Montas against Baltimore. Baltimore's just basically a double A lineup, and then you have single A Chris Davis. If you want to take a shot on Montas at 8,100, I'm all about it. I probably am. Dagger, what do you like for pitchers?
Yeah, I really like Montas today at 8,100. He's probably going to be my building block as far as middle of the road, try to double up with somebody else. I really like Syndergaard, but Minnesota's been crushing, and I don't think I'm going to pay up at the 10-4 salary. I'm off on Pineda. I have no interest. Sorry, not Pineda. Maeda. No interest in Paxton either. He's been pretty mediocre. He had 2 starts against Baltimore, and today he gets Houston, and I could just see him getting shelled.
Apparently, Houston.
Robbie Ray's the play. He's going to just mow down Texas. They strike out a lot, and he's at home. Going down, Pivetta had a decent beginning against, I think it was Minnesota, but he just doesn't strike out enough guys and go deep into the game. So he starts really hot, gives you like 4 innings of good fantasy points, and then kind of loses it by the 5th and 6th. So 8,500 is super steep for him when you can get Montas a little bit cheaper. Kikichi is another name that could be a shot in the dark, but Kansas City is just so good at playing small ball. They always give up, or they always get a few runs against starters. And looking at the bottom list, a lot of guys I want to attack today. I really like to attack Lance Lynn, even though Arizona doesn't have any big bats. Kansas City's starting a reliever today. I don't know how long he's going to pitch, but Seattle's been so good, so that's probably a spot where we're going to attack. And lastly, I think Jeremy Hellickson is a terrible ball player. It's proven history that he's not good. So today you're going to have to find a way to get some Philly bats in there because they're just going to smash on him.
I'm not gonna say we're talking about the guy for the Royals. Apparently, in his Omaha debut last week, he gave up 6 runs on 7 hits with 4 walks over 4 innings.
Not very promising.
And they decided to call him up against maybe the hottest hitting team.
Yeah, no, you can say it. Yeah, arguably the hottest team in baseball, hands down. Yep. Yeah, I think today I'm going to pay 2 mediocre prices, and I'm just going to stack bats and just hope that I can
You know,
get a
I
lot
literally
of.
wrote, if you're gonna stack lineup, Seattle, Oakland, Philly, like just I
Yep.
mean these dudes shouldn't even be in the MLB pitching.
Surprisingly enough, Jordan Lyles gets the Cubs today. If that game doesn't rain out, he wasn't terrible in his first start. So, I mean, I guess at this point of the season, we haven't seen a lot of value from the pitchers. We just need to find a guy that's going to give you maybe
Yeah.
15 points in 5 innings, and then you can pay down and just stack up the bats because the pitchers have been pretty soft.
Just keep in mind he faced Cincinnati and only had 2 Ks in 5 innings.
No, I get that, but I mean guys are winning with Derek Holland the other night, and
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. The pitching's just been so soft.
it really has, man. Because everyone just serves up home runs. Like it's home run or bust now. And it's not even strikeouts. It's brutal.
Yeah. The only guy that I would mention real quick, I want to name drop is you Darvish. I mean, he's been so bad, but he's the type of guy that once he gets that groove, it's going to be lights out for a few months. So if he finds it today at home, this is going to be his first home start. He's been terrible in his first two. He just doesn't know how to stop walking guys, and he hasn't gone over 75 pitches. But this spot against Pittsburgh at home in the rain, if they get this one in, he might actually return value on 7,400.
That's fair enough. I'm probably not going to touch you, but you want to move on to catcher?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, catcher. I got a couple dudes, and I have one like really. DK is weird. Say there are some like super cheap dudes that are just like begging you to take to like build elsewhere. Um, but I'm starting right off at the top, man. Real Muto against Hellickson. You gotta love him. I'm pretty sure Real Muto's got some decent stats against him. He does. It's got
10 for
my
33.
yep. It is 9 singles, but I mean with that lineup, a single could plate you 2 runs like out of the 5 hole. That's all right there. It's a 7 point single.
Yeah.
Who else do I have written down? Originally I didn't think the Cubs were gonna play, but it's looking like that game is gonna happen now. So, I mean, I'll put in up Wilson Contreras versus Lyles. This dude came out of nowhere. Like I literally feel bad not even knowing who he was. But Josh Phegley, man, is 3,800 from the A's. He's batting 321. He's got 2 homers, and he's just crushing against Baltimore. I don't see any reason he doesn't play again tonight. Dan Straley is really, really bad, and Oakland put up crazy numbers yesterday. So hopefully they just kind of roll that over. Another guy I always seem to go back to him. He never seems to do like enough for me. He does decent. He just doesn't always get the big hits. Narvaez from Seattle. That's definitely someone you want to target just against going against that terrible Kansas City pitcher that got called up from AAA.
This could be a rest game for him, lefty.
No, Phil Meyer says he's ready.
Oh, okay. I misread that. Sorry. Go on.
You good. I had one last guy. He's just not good, but he just seems to keep getting on base, getting hits, knocking people in. But I literally have to scroll so far for him.
Don't say it. Save some
It's
for me.
Jonathan LaCroix for 2,700. He's put up double digits 2 of the last 3 times.
He's not a good ball player.
He's not, but he just keeps knocking in dudes. And this dude for the Angels, I mean, I'm sorry, for Milwaukee, Woodruff. You never know. I mean, the last game it was like 9 or it was 10-8. I think the final. They were just beating up each other. If you absolutely have to, I'm probably not going to do it, but I wouldn't be mad at you for doing it that way. Who do you thinking catcher wise? You was going to say him too.
Yeah, no, Lucroy is probably going to be in my lineup today. Mike Trout went out with a groin injury last night. I'm not sure how that's going to play in. If Trout's out, I might fade Lucroy just because everybody else in LA is kind of junky besides Tommy La Stella, who has 3 homers in 2 games. He's 1 for 2. Lucroy is against Woodruff. 2,700 is kind of disrespectful, and last night he just kind of broke the slate in the catcher position because besides Mitch Garver, who was 0% owned against DeGrom. You're probably going to catch me. If I don't go Lucroy, I'm going back to the well on my man, Martin Maldonado. He's not a good hitter in a decent lineup against a pitcher that he could handle in Kikichi. So if Kansas City rolls around the lineup a couple times, Maldonado he's really, really due for something big. And he's a guy that once a week he's going to get you, that 8 to 12 plateau, the 5 to 12 plateau we're looking for. So he's probably a guy I'm going to go to. And I really like Realmuto today, but I don't like his price. I'd rather save some cash and spend it on an outfielder or something else. But that's really all. The catcher's tough today.
It
This
is.
is like a really, really buy down for me. I like the Fegley call a lot.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to. I kind of just want to ride him out. He's got really high end.
Yeah, but scrolling through quick, there's really nothing else. I mean, maybe
There isn't, and we all know we
Grandal.
do capturing.
Grandal. Wow, that's one I missed. Yes, Monty Grandal's been crushing, and he's 3,800. So that might be a way. Yeah, I'm starting to lean Grandal now that I see it.
Yeah,
I don't understand how some of these guys are getting juice prices like Fegley, who's only had one good game, but Grandal's hitting 364 with 3 homers, and he went bridge twice last night. I mean, this guy's gonna crush.
you know, he's on fire. He's double digits. So I think there's 4 out of the last 5 games.
Yeah, he's a machine.
With that, you want to move on to first base?
Yep.
First base. Always a lot of value at first base. A lot of big names. It's tough. Usually, you got to pay up for first base. They do a pretty good job of jacking up on them. Starting off, Hoskins, man. I mean, I don't know. Flaherty's a good pitcher. I don't know if I'm going to go with the Dodgers. I was big on them yesterday, and they just got shut down by a dude that serves up home runs. So, it turns me off a little bit with them. Rhys Hoskins, I really like at 5,300. He's just crushing the ball right now, playing against Hellickson. He's batting fourth in that lineup. Had a slow game last night, so I think today comes back out and starts raking. I got Edwin Encarnacion and Daniel Vogelbach written down here. I think they're 5,000 and 4,400 respectively. Either one can just absolutely crush a slate. I mean, Encarnacion is just banging right now. Hopefully, he just keeps it going. I only had one other dude written down for first base, and that was Gold. I don't know why I always go against Goldschmidt, but I also have down Christian Walker against Lance Lynn. Christian Walker's been
Mm-hmm.
playing really well. He's 4,200, a little bit cheaper option. It really hasn't done much the last 5. I don't know what it was, but still against Lance Lynn, I'm cool if you want to take a shot on him. That lineup's been just pounding out hit after hit, it seems. Um, yeah, I'm pretty quiet on first base today. Is there anything else you like?
Yeah, I have a few that you didn't mention that I'm glad you didn't. Ryan Zimmerman is a guy that comes to mind at 3,800. He's had a pretty cold start, but that Philly Washington game could get out of hand quick, and he's 5 for 9 in his career against Pavetta. And if Washington gets some guys on, they have a lot of speed, and Zimmerman puts one in a gap. He's got a chance for a couple doubles and quite a few RBIs. And I don't know how we cannot go back to the well on Peter Alonso. I'm going to continue to play him. I don't care what they put his salary at. Today's 4,600. He's gone over 20 the last 2. He's gone over 10 the last 3, and he's homered 3 straight. He's got 4 homers in 3 days. This kid is a machine. The Mets made the right move by playing him instead of somebody else at the beginning of the season. And at 4,600, I still think I'd rather play him over, even Bellinger or Hoskins or Encarnacion. I mean, maybe Edwin because he's got a young guy, but Hoskins is the type of guy that'll walk 3 times, and so is Bellinger. And this kid Alonso's getting pitches to hit, and he's just driving the ball to the yard. Um, Looking through the end, I don't really see much else that I like.
I did miss one, and
Yeah, go ahead.
I had him marked down as third base. He has first and third base eligibility. He's getting at bats right now. He's playing Logan Forsythe, man. He's 5 for 11 versus Robbie Ray. One is a home run. Hasn't struck. He's batting 455 against him. If that's a cheap option, maybe you want to go down that road. Arizona is like the second most friendly hitter ballpark behind Colorado. So other than
Yep.
if he hit the center field.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was just confused. I didn't actually think he had first base until now. I thought he was going to be an infield, but that's good. I like that call, 3,300. But yet again, you with a guy that you can only play at first base, I think you have to spend up in this spot.
Yeah, it's tough just because we get the third base. There's someone I really, really like at third base. So
Yeah, but as far as first base goes, I think we're good to move on.
yeah, 100%. Going on second base. I try to fade dudes against dudes that I'm going to probably select as a pitcher. So I haven't been mentioning Baltimore's, but obviously John Villar and Trey Mancini are really the only people you can play from that lineup. But I'm going to go right to my next 2 dudes, second base and outfield eligibility. you really can't fade Whit Merrifield right now. Like, dude's
No,
just
you have to play him until he breaks a streak.
exactly like he's betting 349, man. He just keeps like he's had 3 straight multi-hit games, 4 of his last 5. He's
And he
just
steals bases.
still like, literally does it all. He's only 4,500, which I feel like isn't that bad. The fact that you can slide him into either position. The other guy I really like is Ketel Marte today at
Yeah,
44.
I wasn't sure if you're actually going to go there because I know you guys have had history.
No, he just made me mad to start. You start off like 0 for 12, and now he decides to. Maybe I won't take him for the sake of other people taking him, so he doesn't bust.
That's fair.
I know I had a couple other guys written down. I got to go way down. Where is it? Colton Wong, man, versus Maeda. If you really want to, he's 3,900. I thought it was just kind of a fluke at the start of the season. He has definitely cooled down a little bit, but if you're trying to shave some money somewhere and you want to take Wong for 3,900, that's cool.
Batting 360.
Another guy had, well, if they're gonna play now, this might switch it up for me. Alan Frazier, man, or Adam Frazier. I always say Alan. 3,700. If the Pittsburgh and Cubs are gonna play that game, I'm all about starting Frazier versus Yu Darvish. I'm not sure how Yu Darvish is against base runners. I feel like he's one of them dudes you can steal on, and Frazier definitely is about the bags. And then I also took I've been writing him down lately. Just seems to do a little bit or just do enough. It's Wilmer Defoe, second base and shortstop eligibility. He's going up against Pavetta. If you want to take a shot on him, that's cool. If you want to stack somewhere else, anybody else you like for second base?
Yeah, I got a few guys off the top. D. Gordon, we're going to mention him every day. The 9 hitting is sort of an issue as far as DFS goes, but he's a machine. He's going to steal bases, and I think playing against this Kansas City team that's fast and young kind of gets D's juices going again as far as like when he was a young guy. So when he gets on, he's looking to steal and kind of show these young guys who the real stolen base vet is in the league, and a very very reasonable price at 3,800, and arguably the best offense, like you said earlier, Seattle against a rookie pitcher making his first big league start. And somebody else that I don't know how much I love, but the price is fair. Is Mike Moustakas for 4,000, back-to-back days with a homer. He's only hitting 211, but he's 3 for his last 6, and he scored 19 and 22 in the series so far. Tonight he gets another right-handed pitcher and Pena, and if somebody is going to hit not named Travis Shaw and Kane and Yelich and Grandal, that it's going to be Moustakas, and he's got second base eligibility, so you don't really usually get homers out of that position. So if you can sneak a homer in there, a homer guy in there. And lastly, we can't not mention Jose Altuve. A couple of days in a row against these Yankees, he's gone bridge, like really bridge to the bridge. He's 7 for 25 in his career against Paxton, but he's just been hot. He's starting to heat up. He's at home. He's in Houston, starting to get rolling, and 4,300 is a very very fair price for him.
I like it. I was going to say, like you said, second base, not a lot of power. So it's tough. You really got to pick your spots. I might end up just putting Merrifield and Marte in the outfield because even that's not a terrible price. It all depends. I'm gonna have to think over some things with first base and third. You ready to move on to third base? Third base got me all messed up now.
Yep, feeling good.
A dude that I'm really big on today. They finally have his price jacked up. Of course, I mean he's literally been like 4,000, 4,100, 42, I think.
It's producing.
Anthony Rendon is up to 5,000, but I love him today. He's 6 for 12 in his career against what is
Nick Pivetta.
yeah, Pavetta. I keep mixing them up. Him and Hellickson.
421 on the season with a 9-game hitting streak.
Like you have to.
6 for 12 career against Pivetta, 3 homers.
Yeah, see, I'm all about it. Like it's a must. I have Matt Chapman 4,200 against Baltimore. Lineups hitting. Matt Chapman's like the only dude that's not crushing in that lineup right now against Baltimore, and it's just kind of sad. But if I'm going to take a chance, Dan Straley's really really bad. He's batting second.
Mm-hmm.
Moose is available down here. Jeff McNeil for the Mets is interesting. He's batting 346. Hasn't hit a home run yet. Apparently, he can do a little bit of everything. Waiting for him to do a little bit of everything. If you want to pay that, if you want to pay down somewhere, that's cool.
Hits at the top of the lineup. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's like the key to it. The other dude I did have written down was Logan Forsythe. I had him marked under my third and not my first baseman. So that's my third baseman. I'm not crazy on it, probably because I'm already thinking about spending high up on it. So anything you like?
Yeah, a couple names off the top. Um, Interestingly enough, Eddie Escobar comes to my screen, and I don't know why, but if he's going to get going, he was a guy that got traded last year and kind of bounced around near the trade deadline. And he started off pretty cold, but he hits in the top of an Arizona lineup that the first three or four guys are actually producing well between Peralta, Marte, and Jared Dyson. Eddie Escobar, if he's going to get hot and have one of those big slate breaking days, it's probably going to be against Lance Lynn tonight at a fair price of 3,800. And another guy I kind of like um, is Max Muncy at 4,000. And I don't know why, because I never play Muncy, I never play Bellinger. I'll sometimes take a shot on Seager, but Max Muncy seems like he's due for one of those games. And Flaherty is a hard throwing right hander that if he leaves something middle in, Muncy's going to turn and burn. But for the most part, third base is either you pay up or you pay a somewhat fair price. Everything's kind of steep today. Value wise, I don't think you're going to find anything
Yeah,
much. Interesting enough, I just found another guy, Yuli Gurriel. He's always one of those guys that hits lefties well. He's got Paxton today at home, short porch and left. Don't love it. He's 3 for 22 in his career against Paxton, but he's one of those guys that if you need to sneak in low sal, has a chance to go yard.
sorry, guys.
It's okay. Maybe Colin Moran's another guy. I'm just kind of taking shots at cheap guys here while we're in transition to the next position, but
I'm ready to slide over to shortstop.
all in all, I probably like this pay up position a little bit more.
I'm just torn. A lot of. I might have to just spend low and capture the Bills.
When did Filmer pitch? He must have pitched a series.
I don't think so. I think he might have had like one.
Tim Beckham's 3 for 3 off of Filmer in his career.
Oh, that's weird.
3 for 3, 2 singles and a dong.
I know you hate Tim Beckham, but I love Tim Beckham.
Yeah, you can have him. Fair price, 4,100. I didn't mean to step on your shortstop, but I just saw that when it popped up on my transition here.
Oh, that's okay. For my shortstops, you got to keep just going with the top of that lineup at the Royals. If you want to do a little mini stack of Merrifield, Mondesi, you get a lot of stolen base chances. If they get on base, good chance they're scoring. They just worked their way around the infield. He's only 4,400. They had him jacked up. They finally took him down. I do like Tim Beckham at 4,100. He's hitting the ball. He's in the best lineup right now in baseball, and we're facing a guy that they should just destroy. Another guy, Marcus Semien, just because of that Baltimore, if you want to stack him, 4,000. Gene Segura against Hellickson, 4,000. I mean, take your pick of whoever you want right there. If you want to go a little bit lower, DeJong maybe versus Maeda wouldn't be frowned upon. And he's super cheap, but he's starting to hit the ball again. It really makes me happy. I think he's only 3,300 in Drelton Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's put up double digits 3 games in a row. That could be somewhere I attack to save money elsewhere. I was really big on Beckham, but it is his first game back from his little injury, so I might pay down for Simmons just to be able to build elsewhere.
Yeah, looking through quickly, I like Carlos Correa against Paxton, 8 for 21 in his career.
Oh, I did have him written down. I forgot.
Yeah, he's starting to cruise, and he's only 4,000 today. He's one of those guys that can turn and burn if Houston starts rocking. I really like the Segura call. I might just stack some of these lower Phillies and let the big guys drive them in. And interestingly enough, a guy I won't play, but Elvis Andrus is 3,800, and he's had a decent start to the season. He faces Robbie Ray. I like Robbie Ray a lot today, but Elvis Andrus is a very, very fair price at 3,800. He is batting 378 on the year, so you could probably get away with that. And a really, really super fair price, and shortstop's going to be a pay down position for me, meaning probably 35 to 42. But Corey Seager, for some reason, this guy's 3,700 and probably one of the top 3 hottest lineups in LA. Like I said, Flaherty's a guy that throws a hard fastball. He's got good stuff, don't get me wrong, but a miss here against this lineup, they start rolling as a team. There's gonna be a lot of fantasy points to go around.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said Correa because I missed that afterwards. Because I mean, you see Paxton, you think he's going to bang, but he's been off so far.
Baltimore took him through the ringer, so that gives me no confidence against
That's
you.
what I'm saying exactly.
I really don't know how you can fade Andrelton Simmons today at 3,300 batting fourth though. He's 3 straight games at 10 plus. But if you need a cheap option, Simmons is super fair.
No, I'm probably going to go down that route. You want to slide up to our last position, outfield?
Yep, I'm locked and loaded. This is where the money's made.
Yes, it is. I got a bunch written down.
Rattle away, Papa.
I'll start off with some of the bigger names. I got Yelich down at 5,500, going against LA with Pena, who just isn't getting the job done. He's just kind of their fifth guy. He tries to go 4 or 5 innings. Harper versus Hellickson, you gotta love it. He's definitely gonna bang. Have the funniest
Chalk.
Yeah, literally. Chris Davis, 4,900. He's been struggling too. He hasn't been doing a lot, but if he was ever due, I feel like today is one of his home run days. I don't know if
Chris
I'm
with
going
a
to
K.
for him, but Chris Davis, I think, is like a home run lock today.
Chris with a K.
Chris with a K.
Don't get it mixed up.
4,900 in that lineup for Seattle. He's been hitting well. They finally have his price up to 4,900. Juan Soto, 4,800. I
Great
mean,
call.
I think this Washington Philly game's going to get out of hand. I do have David Peralta down here at 4,400.
Great call.
Malik Smith bats leadoff for that Seattle team. He's 4,300. Can steal bases. Gets on. Conforto's another guy. He's 4,300. He is just hitting the cover off the ball. He's put up over 23 games in a row. Like he's had a home run and a double 3 games in a row. Like
Him and PD Alonso, man, they've just been backpacking that Mets offense right now.
literally. I hate him because he threw out like 3 Red Sox, but I can't even say his last name. Laureano, 4,100. He's back from that injury, second game back. Stephen Piscotty, if you want to, for 4,000. He's 3 for 10. He bats like third in that lineup.
Super fair price. Piscotty's a machine.
If you need to save some money, I did write him down because I feel like he's going to play if Trout's out. But Brian Goodwin's batting 370 in the limited appearances. Pretty sure he can steal some bases if he wants to. He hasn't yet.
Trout is not expected to play. A DL stint is not out of the question.
And Goodwin bats lefty, so I could see him going in against Woodruff. You never know. And I always have Robles down. They just keep him steady at that 4,000. One more guy did have written down. I think he bats a leadoff for Oakland is Rex Grossman or Robbie Robbie Grossman. That's hilarious. Robbie Grossman. He's batting 243, but he is playing against someone terrible. He puts up some points. Just depends if that entire lineup's working. Could steal some bases. What are you looking at out?
Off the top, I like to talk about a couple stacks. I like Washington's outfield a lot. Adam Eaton, 3,800 fair. Robles, 4,000 fair. I want to flip it over and talk about Philly's outfield. Odubel Herrera's 1 for 8, but that one is a home run. If he starts to get going, Philly and Washington, like you said, should be a track meet. Very fair, 3,900 price. George Springer, for some reason, is only 3,900, and he has started to heat up. Like I said, he's in the same boat as Altuve. They went home, and Springer got hot. He's the type of guy to jump the yard on the first at bat of the game. 8 for 30 career, 3 homers against Paxton, and I don't know how I can fade him today at 3,900. I feel like I could build incredibly well with him that cheap. Another guy that we don't really love, but we keep mentioning because he just murdered us last night was Jared Dyson, and he's down to 4,100. And the only reason I mention him is his stolen base ability. He can kind of rack you up 15 points quickly with stolen bases. Jock Peterson, who started super hot, is now hitting 212, but yet again, another matchup with Flaherty. And if he plays tonight, that LA lineup's going to smash. Still scrolling down, trying to look for some extra cheap value. I keep falling on this Max Kepler kid. Doesn't really do much except for when he faces good pitching, he jumps a yard on him. So he's got Syndergaard tonight. 3 homers in the last 4 games. Leadoff hitter for Minnesota. Alex Verdugo, another LA guy. He kind of pontoons with Peterson depending on who's hot, but he's 3,700. A guy I played the other night, Marcell Ozuna, 3,700, has not really gotten going, but pretty fair price. And a guy I played last night who I thought was really going to smash was Jorge Soler, and he just let me down. But he's got a lefty today in Kikichi, hits in the middle of Kansas City's lineup, and every time he comes up, there's one of those top three guys on, whether it be Alex Gordon or Mondesi or Merrifield. So he's got you in a decent price. But other than that, there's a ton of value. You just gotta pick through how you're gonna build it. I mean, a guy like AJ Pollock is down to 3,500 after being almost 5,000 a couple days
That's
ago.
bad.
There's a lot of value if you build right. You just got to figure out how you can fit some of these guys. Brandon Nimmo jumped the yard last night after a 1 for 37 start, and he went 2 for 4 with a homer, leadoff hitter for the Mets. So I like a lot of these low guys, and I just want to touch on the top real quick. Is Harper's 100% chalk for me against Hellickson. He's going to continue to terrorize Washington pitching all year, whether it be Strasburg, Scherzer, or anyone else they have. And I don't know if I can fade Chris Davis, Chris with a K. I love that call. I love the fact that he's slumping because that means he's due for a 2 or 3 homer game. That's just the kind of hitter he is. And for some reason, the ball's just been jumping the yard in Baltimore in this series. I mean, guys that you don't ever hear of, Fegley, and I think VR hit a homer last night to dead center on just a ball that should not have got out of any park. So a lot of value in the outfield, but you have to stack your studs.
I'm about it. You want to go on to our rundown?
Yeah, give me your pitcher of the day. Somebody that's going to touch 30, ceiling 30.
Man, you're so absurd. That's not even possible the way the baseball game's going right now.
Hey,
I'll give you some.
that's what we're here for. That's why we get.
I'm gonna
That's
give
why
you
we get
something that's gonna give at least 20. I feel like 20 is like you need it. My goal is always 25, but
Okay, so instead of a ceiling 30, give me a floor of 20. There's no difference. If you get to 20 as a floor, you should have 30 as a ceiling. Got to
I'm
shoot
going,
for the sky, Jimmy.
I'm going with Freddie. Freddie against Baltimore.
Yeah, Frankie. But yeah, if you want to call him Freddie, it's up to you.
I literally am so bad with first names.
You just see the letter and you just guess. Yeah, Frankie Montas, great spot for him. But Baltimore's been oddly mediocre. But yeah, I'm all in on Robbie Ray tonight. I love the way he goes out there and just attacks. And he's at home, first home start for him. Texas strikes out a lot of lefties. Robbie Ray is going to give me that 30 tonight. Jimmy, give me the bust of the night. Somebody that we're just gonna let the wheels fall off of and try to stack against.
Oh, dude, make your pick, man. Dan Straley.
Well, you gotta be specific here.
Man, you're such a son of a biscuit. Um,
Because one of these guys is going to have a
you
mediocre.
know who I think is going to
inning.
be trash tonight? I can't believe how highly priced he is. I think Nick Pavetta is going to suck.
That's fair. I like it. Stack Washington bats.
Really, I think I have 3.
To your point, I think Flaherty under deems his value of 9,000. I think anything under 10 points for him would be a disappointment, and I think LA can really make that happen. So I'm gonna go with Jack Flaherty for less than 10.
Okay.
Okay, Jimmy, give me the multi-hit guy tonight. Somebody that's gonna get 2 hits since you didn't like the 3-hit option last time. Somebody that's gonna get a multi-hit game.
Multi-hit. Give me Juan Soto.
Love it. Juan Soto. That goes right to your Pavetta call too. That's good. David Peralta at 4,400 is my guy. He's 5 for 11 in his career against Lance Lynn, and he's just a gap to gap leading the league in doubles. I would love to see Arizona run away with this one tonight, put up a lot of fantasy points at home, and Robbie Ray start. So David Peralta's my guy.
Awesome.
Lastly, you know what time it is. Jimmy J's favorite part of the game, the entire segment, and that is Jimmy, give me a homer. What do you got for me?
You're so right, dude. Oh, who did I pick yesterday?
Mine's going to be pretty unfair chalk, so I just take your time.
No, you know who's going yeah today? Ketel Marte, man. He's going to finally redeem me of all of his past wrong for the season.
Just going to continue to pick on Lance Lynn, and that's great on this show. We love to pick on bad pitching. I'm not gonna choke on this one. I'm just gonna really put a lot of eggs in the basket, and I'm not I'm gonna go with Bryce Harper for not one but two. Give me two Harper donks today.
I'm gonna say I think he gets hit by a pitch today.
I think he goes bridge twice, and you know why I say that is I watched him take a changeup down and away left center, and when Bryce Harper hits the ball the other way, it's gonna be a great season. So give me two homers today for Harper.
Okay.
I'm going big. But that's all we got, Jimmy. Take us out of here.
All right, we looking good, man. Check us out on Twitter at Budget Baller DFS. We got our regular Twitter handles as well. You always see us retweeting stuff on there. Total brain fart. I got a big day ahead of me, so I've been a little frazzled today.
I got it, Jimmy. YouTube, if you're out there viewing, giving us a listen, make sure you drop the like, hit us with the subscribe, keep us up to date with us. We got 2 more days this week of the pod, so we're gonna get a Thursday and Friday show in. Ready to crush tonight. Great slate. A lot of hitting to go around. A lot of runs to be scored tonight, and a lot of fancy points to be put up. So that's all I got for Jimmy J. This is Papa Dag.
Papa Dog.